Yo, what's up, everybody? Holding Ice with you here, bringing you If It's From My Daughter, What Even Defeated Demon Lord anime review. This is episode 6, titled The Young Girl Leaves on a Journey. This was a very interesting episode. We get a lot of information. For one, it starts off with Rita, and she's checking on Dale to see if he's okay, because he's looking at this jacket of his that doesn't fit him no more. And he needs to go back to his country if he wants to get it refixed in their type of style. And as they talking, Dale was like, "You look kind of pale." And she's like, "Oh no, I'm fine. I guess I'll go back to work." And when she turns around, she faints. So Dale called Kenny, and they pick her up and they take her to her bed. And Kenny tells Dale that she's pregnant. And he's like, "Oh wow, that's good news. Congratulations." And he's like, "Yeah, thanks." Then she gets up and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry to worry y'all." And they kind of freaked out because, they scared because she just comes out of nowhere saying that. And he thought that she was sleeping. And then she got back up to go to work. And Kenny's like, "You tired? You need to go stay in bed for the safety of you and the baby." She's like, I'm fine. She just go back to work like it's nothing. Which is understandable. I mean, if she was to take a break, that would mean Kenny would be by himself, cooking and doing the waiter in. And that would be very, very difficult for one person to do multiple jobs. I mean, like, in the workforce, you usually are dependable, depending on what type of job you have, to do multiple different things. But when you're doing multiple different stations and multiple different jobs in those different stations, then yeah, one person's not good enough. That's like, can you imagine going into your neighbor McDonald's or grocery store and there's only one worker that has to do everything? The cashiers, the stock, the meat department, and all that. That'd be just hectic for everybody. So it's the same thing with running a restaurant. One person can't do literally everything. So, and since Latina's gonna be leaving with Dale on this journey, as the title states, and his wife is, pregnant, it'll be very difficult for him, and she knows this. So she basically was like, I just worked through it. The baby and me will be fine. So she's working through it, and everything's fine. And Dale asks Latina if you want to come or stay, and she chooses, of course, to go with Dale, especially because she wants to see his country and stay by his side. And the next day comes, and she's cooking potatoes with Kenny, peeling potatoes. Well, Kenny's cooking them, and she asks, "Can I have this knife?" And when he replies, "Why?" her reply to his reply is basically, "I want to do the cooking when we're on our journey to Dale's country, but I need a knife that I can hold and travel with." So Kenny takes her to a shop where you can get custom blades, but they also deal with knives. Now this shop, surprisingly, is owned by Rudy's dad, and if you remember, Rudy has a crush on Latina. So while they're there shopping and explaining what they want, from the owner, which is Rudy's dad, Rudy comes in with his older brother and sister, and he's shocked to see Latina there. And he runs up to her and he grabs her on the shoulders. He's like, "What are you doing here? This place has big blades. Nothing that's gonna fit your little hands." And she kind of got like upset, so she pouted and she was like, "I'm fine. I'll eventually go into it and be able to wield it anyway." And then Rudy finds out that Latina's leaving, and he gets really, really shook. And Kenny was like, "Didn't you tell your friends?" And she was like, "No." And then he explained to her, if somebody close to you would just get up and disappear, would you like that? And then she caught on to, if she's going to leave, even if it's just for a while, she'd at least give her friends and teachers a heads up. So that's exactly what she did, and she told Rudy what happens, and you see Rudy's brother and sister in the back just smiling when looking at Rudy, because he's showing emotions that he does like Latina, but every time he catches on, and he gets back to his normal spot. So it's real cute between them, the relation. And every Kenny's there laughing, and the father. But Latina bought her blade, and the father was like, "If you're willing to wait a day, I can customize the handle on this blade that you buy to make it a better fit for you, so you can be able to not just wield it better, but also be able to travel with it and put it in a special container that I'm going to make for it." So she waited after she paid the blade, and while that's going on, we see Dale shopping as well, and he's shopping for clothes for Latina for this journey. and I believe this is gonna be like a 3 or 4 day journey. That's what I was told by manga readers and light novel readers. I'm not sure. They ain't really say in the episode how long, and I'm not anime only. But from what I was told, this is gonna be like a 3 or 4 day trip going and coming back. So that'll be a total of 8, maybe 9. So it's like a week and a half. So it's gonna be a while. Almost 2 weeks. But as he's shopping, he bumps into this beautiful blonde-haired girl who's a mage, and you can tell when Dale's talking to her, she makes him nervous. And he even states in the episode, "I can't deal with this woman for some reason. She just gets me." So I'm not sure if Dale has feelings for her and he just doesn't realize it. He's oblivious. But she basically helps him out with the problem that he was having of what dress to pick for Latina, because he wanted to get her a magical dress that's gonna be comfortable for her, but also useful if battle were to occur. So this mage chick, which her name is Helami helps him in a magic shop, finds exactly what he needs, and he buys a lot of expensive stuff, like a lot. They don't tell you the price here in the episode, but from what I heard from manga readers and light novel readers, the price was pretty pricey what he spent on Latina. But of course, that's his baby girl, so he's not gonna mind. But Helami, she caught on to all this clothes that he was buying, that it was for a kid, and especially a female. And she was like poking at him, saying, "I can't wait to someday meet this female mage that you're buying all these expensive clothes and stuff for." And he started blushing. He was like, "How did you know?" And she's like, "Well, one, you're buying nothing but kids' clothes, female clothes at that. And two, every time you buy something, you blush. So I'm assuming that you're doing more than just running errands for this person." So she basically caught onto his lie, which earlier his lie was, "I'm doing shopping for someone as a errand for them." And of course, though, it was more of an errand for himself, because he's doing this on his own will for his daughter. But he lied to her, but she caught on. So it was funny to see him get tripped up. But after this, the next day comes and they leave and they say bye to Vita and her husband Kenny, and they go in the opposite direction. And surprisingly, Latina catches on and she's like, "What are we doing? This is the opposite direction. Isn't the ocean the other way? And that's where we're supposed to go?" And he was like, "Yeah, you're right, Latina, but don't you want to visit Rag before we leave and tell him all the things that we've been through and where we're going?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, you're right, thank you. I know I should be the one going to his grave, but you've been the one going for me every day, and thank you for that." And if you remember, Rag is actually the one who adopted her first and was with her in the wild before he died, and then Dale took that responsibility. So they went to visit Rag's grave, and Latina bows and she put her head on the stone and she starts to talk and tell Rag all the experience. So you see my thumbnail that she's been through. Now she's been through a lot for this past, I think, like a month or two, maybe more. Actually no, it's been months actually. I think it's been like a half a year already. You know, there's been a couple of time skip in between, so it should be about 3 to 4 months, maybe 6. But yeah, it's been around half a year that, you know, she had a lot of stuff to tell him. So she was there for a while. And of course, Dale set up camp and all, and still keeping an eye on her. And as this goes on, we also get Latina's first battle. Now, she doesn't really battle in this first battle, but she does play a big role in it. She plays support, and she actually supports Dale with a magic cloak barrier. So when he fights those square monsters that he hates so much from episode 1, which is the enemies he's fighting again, the liquid that they spit on him will just completely just fall off him. It won't stay stuck, and he won't smell. So he was happy, and he was very impressed with Latina. But as this goes on, they have this sweet moment where she's cooking for him, and she's like, "Do you like my cooking?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's great." And she was like, "Well, can I be in charge of cooking until we get back?" And Dale happily said, "Of course, yes." And they were sort of thinking of all the times they had together and how far Latina has come from, you know, back then to now. It was a really cute moment, and that's how the episode ends. Now, they're going back home to Dale's hometown, so that's going to be interesting to meet his family and friends from back there, if they're still alive, and whoever else he knows from back then, to get his tail, his coat tailed by somebody who's a tailor. So that's going to be interesting. Also, that blonde hair chick that we met in the episode, is she a love interest for Dale, or is this someone that Dale met in this town since he's been here for a while now? living here as an adventurer. That needs to be explained more. I would like to know more about her. And please no spoilers for your light novel and manga readers. Again, I'm an anime only, so please no spoilers. But it's funny to see that that's the only person that can get Dale tripped up besides Latina, so that's very interesting. Another thing, how come Dale just couldn't buy another coat? Why does it have to be a coat from his country? I mean, he's in a really rich town, so it doesn't make sense why he has to specifically get his. Maybe because he just wants to represent so he won't feel homesick. That's my thoughts on it. And also, we did find out that Dale is the number one adventurer. That was stated by Latina's friends. So, it's interesting to know that he is number one. I mean, we knew he was a high rank adventurer, but to find out that he's actually the number one adventurer in this rich city, that's very impressive. Especially since we know Dale has pools, and he knows a lot of people from the top categories of the churches and government powers and officials like that. It was a very interesting episode to say at most. But that was the episode, guys. Let me know if there's anything I missed or anything that's different from the manga/light novel. Tell me how long this journey arc is gonna be and how many days, if y'all know, with minimum spoilers, please. But that's all I have for you. Tell me what you like and didn't like about the episode, and peace out and have a good one.